Hello everyone, and welcome back to Gladiator Guild Manager by Entertainment Forge. Last time, we were able to do a couple quests and make it to the middle of the month. We do have one quest that was giving us some trouble, but we have plenty of time before we have to tackle it. And we are now looking forward to our final arena, which will be the more or less the main endpoint of the game. So, let's get back into it. Alright, so we did have a bunch of gladiators go down to the stone golems, but that's alright. We should have a couple other events pop up over time. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to finish off all of the things that the Baroness is going to ask of us so we can maximize her achievements. Okay. Ooh, many versus one, my favorite. Oh, beautiful. Oh, our necromancer's down. Why is our necromancer down? He's higher level, so he's slower. I didn't see that he was still down. Without a terror, that is annoying. We will just simply have to live with Guardian Veil. That is all that has to happen. Meanwhile, everybody gank the archer. I don't even care who, just kill her. Guardian Veil will protect you for 6 seconds. If you guys can't kill her in 6 seconds, I am going to fire somebody. Who am I kidding? I'm not paying you guys that much anyway. Yeah, you're very high level. I don't need any action from you. You and a little bit of knockdown. Here we go. We got Guardian Veil, we got a taunt, everyone's got a forward, knockdown, blah, yeah. What is that, 2 seconds? Just goes to show, one of the greatest things in this game is still simply raw numbers. If you have the numbers, you can do things to people. Ah, sweet. You're finally 15. I do not have a weapon for you, my man. We'll need a scepter for you. What's this again? Oh, gains intelligence but lose life. That's perfect. You do need more movement. You are a melee after all. One more. I don't know if stamina's an issue. Okay. Oh, in case anyone's wondering, that little star on him means that his default priorities have been changed. I had him set not to heal support and ranged in the back because a cleric is really meant to be a frontline healer. He sort of mixes it up with the other frontline tanks and he heals them directly. If he ever tries to heal one of your ranged, he's going to run all the way back, and then by that time the tanks are taking damage. He's just going to waste time going back and forth. So you're going to have to prevent that to make him actually useful. Yes, some dwarves have to die, apparently. You know what? Let me get the necromancer back. Here we go.
The last board member arrived at Mana Tower. The blighted dwarf brought such a monstrous machine that I'm beginning to suspect he knew very well what will happen.
Well, and so you think he's onto us?
He brought a state-of-the-art killing machine. I think he knows what's up, and has sought revenge for his buddies.
Alright, we will figure out a way to tear it apart. Although, I gotta say, Amp Smash... Alright, standard boss, can't be knocked down, can't be CC'd. No items, no traits, which is nice. Rapid fire, 10 bullets, each of which deals 1100 with 90 accuracy. Getting hit by a melee attack, hits the unit back with shock for 26,000 and knocks them down. High voltage juggernaut. Well, I'm pretty sure the strategy has literally been stated to us. Do not melee him. You three obvious. You didn't have knockdown, did you? No, it's just bullet damage. No knockback, no knockdown. I do need you guys a little closer. And finally, enough heals and damage through other means. So your fire totems will do damage. And your melee, your root won't do anything to a boss, I still think. So we'll just kind of chuck you into the fight. Oh, that's only 8. I don't think you do anything in this fight. No one's gonna die for you to resurrect. So at times like this, you want a warlock. So necromancer's great when you're gonna have bodies around and you can just keep bringing them back rapid fire. But when there's nothing to bring down, like a solo boss fight, then a warlock will just kind of create imps and titans out of thin air. Fine. I never intended to use you, but we simply need the bodies. Here we go. Alright, so the Guardian Veil is going to take care of that initial volley. Interesting that the dog died. That thing does so much damage. He is very close to taking down our tank. That is nuts. The bullets are getting through and taking down... Thankfully, they're taking down the guys I don't terribly care about. They're taking down the Pyromancer and the Dark Mage first. They're AoEers, so they're not quite as important for a fight like this. But that boss is nasty. 88,000 damage. I gotta say, if you had told me that thing's gonna do 88,000 in 12 seconds, my initial thought would be, no, we can't survive that. But massive healing from the Shaman. Massive DPS from this essentially boss killer. He shoots slow, but each of his missiles are very high damage, so there's no good way to mitigate. Super high damage. Obviously, she is going to run out of stamina in a fight that's that intensive. She's probably healing at 90 miles an hour. And basically, lots of people got blasted in the face. I guess, like, if I had perfectly lined up the knight, you know, to, like, millimeters, I might have been able to stop one or two of that, but, I don't know. It seems like a lot of work.
You're a miracle worker. Remember these words. The things you did will help me change the course of history. You have my utmost gratitude.
And I am certainly we're going to change it for the better, right, milady? Every 5 hits, the suit explodes, damaging all enemies in an area of 2.5, dealing 10% of their max health, and knocking them down for 0.5 seconds. The wearer is also knocked down. Now, the good news is we do have traits that prevent knockdown. For example, can't be knocked down. So we can live with that negative. Don't need resources. Alright, so very nice. Finished main quest with the Baroness. That was the goal from the very beginning. I was a little worried. I didn't know how many quests there were. I was a little worried that maybe we would not be able to slip it in time-wise before we got to the next arena. But it looks like we indeed did. So we only have one arena left. We have this quest line, which is actually the first...
A gathering of stone golems broke into the Mana Tower, smashing...
Which is actually the first in a series. So I kind of want to take care of this before we take care of the Mana Tower. I don't know. Last chance to up our... warriors. 21 dark is not much better. 22 man assassin, I will say, is better. I do think that is better. I mean, 6 levels on him with decent and you're going to have around 40 movement. That means you're going to have 20 intelligence. That's horrible. That's useless. But, what do we care? You, sir? Once again, thank you for your service. Very simple. You need Wild Heart, my friend. none of your strategy works without Wild Heart. And what else do we want on him? Oh, I forgot. I should have looked at our mana assassin before we let him go. Okay, get everything back on you. The question is there something that makes sense for you to use every 5 hits? I'm gonna assume that means every 5 times your hit. That's how I'm gonna choose to take that meaning. This is not terribly useful anymore. We're dealing with levels so large that, yeah. 800 health is nothing to you guys. Okay. I don't think anybody needed gloves. I think it's safe to get rid of those things. Yeah, no one needs those. Okay. So, what I actually think I'm gonna do is we're gonna take a moment to strategize, because we are getting down to it. It's really only this and this left. This has been quite a saga. So what we're gonna do is just kind of check out, make sure everyone is squared away the way we need them in order for us to do our final push. So you need Guardian Veil. I would love for it to last longer than 5 seconds, but it is very costly. It's basically 4 blueprints each time you want to buy a couple of seconds, and that first 5 is, of course, far more impactful than the remainder. So I'm going to leave it at that. Hold My Beer is weird, and yes, I would honestly rather have the you cannot be knocked down, but it is stylistically very different, and it is stylistically very useful. It isn't a bad idea. In some fights, it makes sense to have a tank jump in and sort of, if you do not have a front line of melee attackers to grab, he'll jump backwards a little bit and grab the attention of a mix of the mid and the back lane people. That does legitimately make sense. As does heal your allies whenever you take damage. As does strength for every mana crystal. We're always going to have hundreds and hundreds going forward, so he is more or less squared away. Spiked chestplate is totally reasonable, and a plethora of items to give you mostly health. Yeah, and then these stray gloves. Beautiful. You are similar. You do not have Guardian Veil, so you are going to use an Invinci Shield. All health. Can't be knocked down. Gives vitality. Stamina, I should say. Can't be fired or frozen. That is, you know what? That is something that makes sense on some of our chasers. Because occasionally the man assassins get into a lot of trouble when they get frozen. Practical Learner. Oh, that's good, though. Oh, no, that's level 2. What am I talking about? That's level 2 is, oh, no, can't be frozen at level 1. Practical Learner. This is after each battle they participate in. But we just bought you. Oh, wow, you've already been in 16, so that's a legit stat. It would cost 2 blueprints to get you up to code to Can't Be Frozen. I think there's a real value in that. This trait would be so great if the first one is Can't Be Frozen and the second one is Can't Be Set on Fire or Poisoned. I would have loved that so much. Alright, you can't be frozen. Ooh, that's great, but sacrifices must be made. Can't be frozen, so we went from 12 to 8. So that takes care of their needs. Can't be frozen. Meanwhile, back to you. You are the one who can't be frozen. Your traits are great. Your inventory is great. Your stats are great. Your stats are fine. Your stats are largely fine, but your stamina is... Why is your stamina so high, sir? I feel like we can scale that back like 500. That's equivalent of 10 levels. We don't... You're not quite the stat stick. We've got all sorts of jank on you. Can't be hurt in the beginning. Malfunctioning suit. You do damage around you. There is some argument for resetting your stats, but it's not a massive reset. I think I'm actually going to leave it. And trait-wise, this is not terrible. Can't be knocked down or stunned. I'm going to ignore the stun part. That's getting a little costly to deal with something that obscure. You can't be knocked down. You've got Guardian Veil. That's beautiful. Since you've got Guardian Veil, it helps to be able to heal yourself. You also have this. I guess. I don't know. I don't love it. Meanwhile, statistically, you're fine. Now, knights do indeed benefit a lot from strength because they've got this super low cooldown block. If you actually do take the time and energy to give them the strength, that's more likely in a character that you picked up in the very beginning, because that's when you do need that mix of what your character is going to be called upon to do is going to be blocked a lot in the beginning. Whereas now, once you've gotten him up to this level, you're just gonna plug him full of health, and he's just gonna brute force his way with Guardian Veil and a bunch of healers behind him. So that's the difference. Beautiful, beautiful. We would like some strength stuff on you. Are there no strength items other than weapons and gloves? I guess thematically it makes a little bit of sense. We have not given you any traits whatsoever. I don't think there's anything pivotal. You're really just a wannabe mana assassin. You're going to sneak in the back. I'd give you Wild Heart, but you do not have a special first attack, so that doesn't even make sense. You have had these for an eternity. And your items are a little bit behind. But we're just going to have to live with it. You guys are both Herculean. So high strength. Slow walkers. Yeah, super slow. I'm not even using you guys anymore, so I'm not going to worry about it. Weapon boots. Is there something else that makes sense? You freeze, and then you deal more damage to frozen. That works perfectly. You're already using a weapon. You've got a necklace. You are beautiful. I'm going to leave you alone. Helmet. Need nicer boots, I guess. But, oh, arrowhead. Oh, we purpled up. Yeah, we purpled up both arrowheads. That makes sense. That thing is super powerful. Oh, you still have this. Sure, why not? Oh, massive agility while you lose health. Massive agility while you lose stamina. Both beautiful, which is why you have massive agility. You're pretty much, I mean, quite honestly, at this point, you're a boss killer more than anything else. You're not really used. You two are square, I think. I honestly don't know how useful that is. Does anyone else really need a trait? That is a question to answer. Casting a buff restores your stamina. Do you even buff? That's a heal. That's not a buff. You don't even buff. I don't think this does anything. Melee attack? Divine Circle? Casts a heal? That's not a buff. Shield block? Because, like, this is a buff. Literally says blessed buff. I'm gonna remove that. I have no idea what I want in its place, but it's just... we now know that's not necessary. Maybe what we can do is you're a practical learner, level 2. After each battle they participate in, this is 18 battles. You've been in like 100. Yeah, 96. That only costs 1. We'll do it. That's going to raise his max intelligence boost from that to 50% from 37. So, Wait. Oh, we need the building. Trait Crucible. That requires 20 blueprints. I declined. Practical learner. I'm sure you've... Oh, 17. Wow, I've only used you 17 times. That's not a lot. But this is 6, 12, 13 and a half. Okay, you've done it. Practical, how about you? 77. Yeah, you're fine. That's practical learner. That. 1% for every mana crystal. This will increase it to 30. Sure. Why not? Oh. I forgot about that. That is not good. Let's remove that. Each time you summon or revive. Intelligence for gold. Those are fine. 30% when using a consumable. Bleh. Can't be frozen. For every 2 months in the guild, agility boost. Oh, how long have you been? It's got to be a long time. 4 months? You've hit 4 months. So let's go ahead and upgrade you to 4 months. Adaptive marksman. I don't know. I don't care about that one. I don't need to level that. Serial killer? Yes. Oh, we're not really using him. Fine. I never gave you anything. Serial killer, once again, makes sense for you, but the question is, does it restart the count for each enemy killed? How many have you killed? 19. You've only killed 19? Guess it's hard for you to get in kills when you got, like, these guys ripping bodies with the speed that they do. You've got 19. That qualifies for that. This is 30. You don't qualify for that. Okay. Vampire. Meh. Can't be frozen. Tons of strength. You have no level 1? Alright. No, you're the Guardian Veil guy. I don't care if you're frozen. I actually don't care if you're frozen. I was gonna give you can't be frozen, but that's, it's not a thing. We've got an item discount coming up. We just bought a very nice new Gladiator for ourselves. And he is now in the fold. It's not great, but I'll leave it. We don't have the trait blueprints to spare. It is very easy to run out of those things. There we go. Discounted helmet. 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks have it. That's way too low. That's a consumable. I don't know why I can tell. There's just something about the graphical appearance that these look like consumable. Oh, there's a little yellow border. That's why. I was like, for some reason, I've never seen that before, but I was like, why do I know that's a consumable? It's that yellow border. Ooh. Giant health helmet. Giant. Wait a minute. How does it compare? This is a 32 with some stamina. This is a 24 with more stamina. Okay, so that's not really a tank thing. That's more of a scramble. That's like one of your guys who are gonna scramble in the mix. More imp instructions. Ooh, very highly discounted helmet. I don't know. We got good helmets. I don't think I want that. Holy shnikes. I think we'll take that. That thing's ridiculous. I think we got 4 shields. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we got 4 shields. Holy moly. Bro. Pure strength on you. Level 22x. Level 22x. Level 17 strength with a bit of side stuff. Probably outgrown that. Alright, item market is clean. We need we're not actually going to be healed up. Tempted to skip the arena. You never want to skip the arena. You always want to do something. I'm going to skip the Ring of Death for now. Okay, you know what? That will be a good stopping point. So we just paid our gold. We can do that if we want to afterwards, but it's a much lower priority. We're actually not going to get our guys back, unfortunately, before the time frame of the arena. The clock is close on these guys, but that's what we're going to do when we come back. I really would take on the witch swamp again, but we kind of crushed that even without working very hard at it. Some of the actual logistics, you can actually take quite a bit of time trying to fine-tune everything, but there's a bit of a trade-off where it gets a little tedious once there's so many on the field. So I'm going to leave that. We are going to take a look at the man tower. I'm hoping we are going to be too weak to take it the first time. Probably going to need to pick up 1 or 2 more guys, maybe a universal item or 2. And I would still love to finish off this fight that kind of kind of mashed us. So we'll save that for next time. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you then.